same one that your students, yeah, let me show you here. So it's the same one that your students are using, but yeah, let me show you here. Again, it's a page that that is designed for the university students, and because the academy is going together with university track in the lay track. So, but yeah, that's the page. So here you will see the schedule of the webinars, and you already have access to that file. So the same thing that we always use for webinars. And I need to take a look and see if there are any webinars that already happened and are still on the list. So I need to put them to recordings. Then you have the schedule. So basically, again, you've seen that before, but you know, that's the schedule for the practical phase, from teams formed all the way to post-project survey and presentations. Then there are some instructions here for how the final team reports will be submitted. And so by that, I mean, when you will be fully done as a team, you will have your proposal, your ideas, your essentially your team report. And so we will be submitting that through Turnitin, and you have here the information that you need. And then you have the list of the companies here. So again, we've had webinars with most of them already. So I assume most of you have some idea about these companies like Abovo Chocolate, Koci Grifoni Wine, Dart Drones, the Drone Pilot School Network. Get Out, it's a event planning company, and so on and so on. So we have Medelo, it's an app for basically, you know, those who attended webinar know what I'm talking about. Hiplantro, they make tea. Ski Big 3 Canada, it's a joint venture among several ski resorts in Canada. Truffle and Wine Company in Australia, Truffle and Wine. So, and so on and so on. Zen CV help you with CVs. Then there are some training instructions for instructors, for university professors. You probably don't need it, but we included that here just in case students really want to go into more depth. We decided to give you that. And so I think this block here will be your sort of, you know, page or section that you can work with while you're waiting to be placed on teams. You literally go one by one, look at the challenges and see which company you may like or may, you know, help with you know, with work. So for example, Koci Grifoni, it's a company that produces wine. And so here you'll find company description, location, and you know, a little bit about the history of the company, and a little bit about you know, the methods of production they use. But then most importantly, you have the challenge. So the list of the questions that they need help with. And so all of the reports are sort of structured along 3 report sections. Usually all of them want you to do market research. And so by that, we mean you analyze that competition and the industry and try to think how your client compares to the competition. So what are the strengths, what are the weaknesses, where the opportunities lie, and what kind of threats the company may be facing. In most of the cases, almost all companies, they want to expand their basically business. And in most cases, they want to expand in a new country, although some of them say it doesn't have to be a country, it can be just simply expansion of the business. So you would start thinking about possible new markets, in a sense, new countries where the product would be in demand, but also maybe new market segments. Maybe at this time, like for example, Ski Big 3, historically were catering to internet, or mostly to international visitors, because people were flying in from all around the world. But this time they are asking, you know, with the international travel being down and severely restricted, other ways for us to increase the number of visitors, maybe using the Canadian sort of market, but maybe attracting more different segments of the market. Not our typical, you know, 20, 30-year-old skier, but maybe older skiers, or maybe people who normally wouldn't go skiing. So market analysis, and so you analyze who would be a potential customer, what they are like, what kind of tastes they have, or maybe values they have, or preferences they have. So that's where you analyze that market. Then most companies, and I think actually all of them this time, they ask for help with marketing. Again, usually it's section number 2. For some challenges, it may be section number 3, but you need to think about marketing. And here you will have to think about how you would promote and advertise the product in the either country that you propose or to this new segment of the market, of the population that you propose. Again, everything from the promotion channels, how and where you would place the ad, Would it be on Facebook, on TV, in a newspaper, on billboards, or something else? Send a letter, or maybe send, sales representatives. And again, it's very important for this step is that you don't only say, oh, advertise on Facebook, but that you explain how to do it so it works. What kind of ad would you place? What that ad might look like? How much will it cost? When do you place it? Always, or maybe only for a week, or maybe, during a specific time of the day. So you go into all of those details because it's a very, very important sort of, that's where the challenge is. And Dr. B and I, we know something about advertisement. So for some of our own ventures, we had to do some advertisement, including online. And it's not so easy. Sometimes you have an idea and you think it will work, you test it and it's not working. Sometimes you think, okay, we'll just advertise online, but then you start looking into it and turns out it's quite a, elaborate, multi-step process. Like not so long ago, we were trying to advertise on a new platform, Snapchat. And again, it seems like so simple, just go and advertise. No, it turns out, it takes quite some time to set up the account, to figure out what kind of ads they use, they allow, how much it costs, how do you select the audience. There are so many little decisions that all of a sudden, that simple step, advertise on Snapchat, turns out into like a 2-week, research project, just figuring out what they do. And even then we messed up because if you remember, Dr. B, so the idea was that we would use the same ads that we used on other platforms. Turns out the size of the ad on Snapchat is different. So they use square ads and most platforms use rectangular ads. And we didn't realize that. So we had those black sort of,
Yes.
stripes on the sides. And again, something that, you would have think that we would have predicted, and no, we missed that part. So often it is kind of a challenge. There was someone who raised his hand or her hand. I'm not sure, let me see. Yeah, okay. So, but anyway, promotion channels, then the message itself. So what will you say? What would be your sort of message? So again, advertise is an easy word, but what exactly do you say in that advertisement? And then better yet, some promotional materials. Again, if you say that it should be, let's say, ads on Facebook, maybe you will prepare some copies or examples of what that ad might look like. If you think that it should be TV advertisement, maybe you will write some script for the TV ad, or maybe even make like a simple fun video, as an example of what it might look like. Or if you believe that it should be maybe some sort of a personal letter sent by mail or by email to potential buyers. Again, what would be the text of that letter? What would you say? And so that's where you put all those details. It's a very, very good exercise for you. So, I mean, obviously companies want to get your input, but believe me, you will learn a lot as you're trying to develop this marketing strategy for the company. And believe me, once you get into those details, you'll be like, whoa, I didn't realize I need to think about this. I didn't realize I need to think about that. I didn't realize it's so difficult, so hard. So that's a very good learning experience for you, because tomorrow you will be a manager of a company, or you will start your own company, your own business, or maybe you will work for someone, but still will be tasked with, selling more or, finding more customers. And you will have to do all of this. And so this is a very good exercise for you so that you know what to expect and how it works. And then the last section in most cases is sort of other questions or operations management. In this case, they wanted pricing and distribution, but again, it could be something else. So for example, the question may be, should we enter this new market alone or with some sort of a partner? Should we establish a wholly owned subsidiary in that country where it's our basically office and we run it? Or should it be maybe some sort of like a joint venture with a local company? Or maybe some sort of a partnership with a governmental agency? Or maybe, we do it through some sort of a distribution center. And so we have a partnership, a contract with a distributor or retailer. So, or maybe we do a franchising, network, build a franchisee network. Again, you would need to think about the best method of expansion for this company. And if you do recommend some sort of a partnership, in most cases, it's a very good idea to provide names of potential partners, maybe companies that want to be in that joint venture, or maybe distributors that might be interested in selling this product. And better yet, reach out to them and talk to them and ask, would you be willing to sell, for example, Coach Grifoni wine? Or would you be willing to have a joint venture with the Italian company Coach Grifoni, where maybe you will provide the distribution network, they will provide the product, and this way, you will have some sort of a partnership. Same thing with the logistics, you know, shipping. What's the best way to ship the product? Are there any trade restrictions, other import tariffs or certification requirements, or anything else that the company needs to know before they can enter the market? And in this particular case, they also ask for the pricing strategy, both in terms of how much the product should cost, but also what should be the structure of that price. Would it be just simply the price you pay on the checkout, or would it be maybe some sort of a subscription model, or maybe some sort of a bulk pricing model, or maybe some sort of a repeat customer special pricing, or something else, you know, like membership plus price, or, you know, things like that. And so we gave you here some links to where you can find more information on how these things work, but ultimately it's your decision. Then the second part of the document will always be more technical. So the requirements for the document structure, you know, how many words, how many diagrams, how you cite your sources, what font, size of the font you should use, things like that. Then how do you submit your report? And then basically your schedule. So, you know, on October the 5th, we will form the team, and then we just basically go step by step. So establish contact and provide the report on that by September the 3rd. Then meet your team members by September the 6th, then select the company by September the 13th, and so on and so on and so on, all the way until you submit the final report. And here you have the submission instructions at the end. So that's just to give you an example, and that